Are we ready?
Yeah, we're ready whenever you are.
Yeah, we're ready, Matt.
Cool.
F the rules. There's no rules. Create something new that doesn't exist. Don't worry about what it's called. Just let music be music. The beginning of playing in bands was just like how any other kid does, linking with like other kids that had the same like-minded taste. Beastie Boys and Rage Against the Machine, Stanford Prison Experiment, Tribe Called Quest. The other one would be Minor Threat, Fugazi. I was like happily confused. I would never wanted to listen to one style of music. To me, it was like eating the same meal every day or wearing the same clothes every day or doing the same thing every day. I always wanted to switch it up. The first memories, of course, is just filling in. I was playing in the opening band called the Aquabats. We were kind of like a ska, new wave, sometimes punk band, and something happened where their drummer left, and I had to learn all the songs like an hour before they went on stage, and then I played the next 3 shows with them. And it was so fun. It was like that last-minute energy where you're just forced to adapt. I love that. I joined Blink and we recorded what was Enema of the State. I just think, you know, when I stepped into the band and started writing with them, it was like, I guess the goal was like, hey, let's write like different types of songs, not just ones with the, you know. A lot of Blink recordings, the song starts with the drums. Rather than everyone going in with chords and a progression that could ultimately all sound the same by the end of the album. So I like creating drum riffs, which is something that's hooky, that becomes like a part that's memorable. And I feel like that's something that's I'm probably better at than even just playing or technique-wise. I feel like the chops of being in a studio and coming up with good parts and writing good parts is a challenge in itself. I think the first one was Puff. He hit me to do Bad Boys for Life. And he was like, just be in the video, I gotta have you. So I went and played in the video. And around that time, I was in with Will from Black Eyed Peas. And it was early, we had just done Warped Tour together. And he would be like, yo, come to the studio, I'm making beats. I didn't even know what was going on. I wasn't really getting compensated for anything. It was just more like, all I know is my live drums are in a studio and we're making rap music, which was so cool to me because that was what I grew up on. And then from there, Bun B and Pimp C hit me from UGK. Actually, Skinhead Rob from the Transplants hit me and was like, yo, UGK wants you to make a beat. And I said, well, tell Bun I don't make beats. And the Skinhead Rob called me back like 5 minutes later. He said, now you do. Like, you have 24 hours to get UGK a beat. So I just started cooking, just went in the studio, just started coming up with ideas. I didn't really know what I was doing. I made this song called Late Night Creepin'. And then from there, I just fell in love with it. I was like, whoa, this is so cool. I'm so blessed that they challenged me to do that because it opened up this whole other world for me. And then T.I. hit me, yo, I want you to play on this. You know, Wayne hit me, I want you to play on this. It was just, everybody was hitting me. Soulja Boy hit me, like, do a live remix for this. It was just, everything that I was like listening to came to me and was wanting to do something, you know, collaborate. So I tend to record most things like live. Even if it's all programming, I'm putting them on a rolling pad and I'm playing them. It takes me way less time to do that than to have my engineer go in there and like grid something or me to learn Fruity Loops or whatever else. And I want this live feel, so in a perfect world for me, I'll get 4 bars of me like nailing it and I'll use that. I'm being asked to play on top of programmed drums because any song with just programmed drums is like this. There's no dynamics. The minute you add the smallest of live drums, you immediately have dynamics. Like the Halsey record, they were looking for dynamics. They were looking for like these big parts, and then they wanted it to be more moody. It was one of those circumstances where it really called for live drums. This was actually the first time we collaborated, and we had been talking about doing something together because I love her music, so this one just kind of came together. People will label everything, you know, like I know someone hit me like, oh, you do a lot of trap metal stuff. I was like, oh, did you just call it? Like, it's so crazy, you know? It has dirty 808s and it has like guitars, and I'm immediately a trap metal producer, which I'm not. Like, the next day I'm gonna do something completely different, you know? At the end of the day, whatever you're doing, if you're producing, playing drums, guitar, you're rapping, the goal is to develop your own style. And for me personally, a lot of the songs that I've played on or recorded on in, you know, my career, I could have easily just done, you know, whatever it is for that tempo. And I think what made me different is pushing those boundaries and trying to make things different. And I think this sound pack gives you the opportunity to do something like that.